Okay, so I've moved. Now I'm broadcasting from Osaka, Japan. So there's a big change in climate. The material world is endlessly mutable, but Krishna stays the same. I'm reading now Anchalila chapter 1. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Budale Shrimate Bhakti Vedant Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaur Avani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunivani Paschatya Desa Tarani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhebhacha Patitanam Pavanebhi Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So this is a summary of this first chapter by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his Amrita Pravaha Bhashya. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, all his devotees from other parts of India, upon receiving the auspicious news, came to Purushottam Kshetra, or Jagannath Puri. Shivananda Sain took a dog with him and even paid fees for it to cross the river. One night, however, the dog could not get any food and therefore went directly to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu at Puri. The next day, when Shivananda Sain and his party reached Jagannath Puri, Shivananda saw the dog eating some coconut pulp offered to it by Caitanya Mahaprabhu. After this incident, the dog was liberated and went back home, back to Godhead. Meanwhile, Srila Rupa Goswami reached Bengal and returning from Vrindavan. Although he could not follow the Bengali devotees, after some time he also came to Jagannath Puri, where he stayed with Haridas Thakur. Srila Rupa Goswami composed an important verse beginning with the words Priyo Siyam, and Caitanya Mahaprabhu relished it very much. One day, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Roy, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and others went to the place of Haridas and heard some of the verses Rupa Goswami had composed for his books Lalita Madhava and Vidagdha Madhava. After examining the manuscripts of these two books, Ramananda Roy approved and appreciated them very much. After the period of Chaturmasya, all the devotees who had come from Bengal returned to their homes. Srila Rupa Goswami, however, remained in Jagannath Puri for some time. Pangung Langayate Shailam Mukam Avir Avar Tayech Chutam Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Krishna Chaitanya Mishwaram. I offer my respectful obeisance to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a lame man can cross over a mountain and a dumb man can recite Vedic literature. Durgame Patime Dasyat Skalat Pada Gatir Muhu Swakripa Yasti Danena Santak Shant Bavalambanam. My path is very difficult. I'm blind and my feet are slipping again and again. Therefore, may the saints help me by granting me the stick of their mercy as my support. Jai. Wonderful verse. I'm just reading the Bengali for these introductory verses. Then I'll just read. I was reading daily with Gunagrai Maharaj in Vrindavan, and he preferred to just move fast through the, read only the English, follow that. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiv Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, H.I. Guru Koran Charana Bandhan, Yaha Hoite Vijanasha Abhishta Puran. I pray the lotus feet of the six Goswamis, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Jiva Gopal Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunath, so that all impediments to my writing this literature will be annihilated and my real desire will be fulfilled. Purport. If one wants to benefit the entire world, he will certainly find persons like hogs and pigs who will put forward many impediments. That is natural. But if a devotee seeks shelter of the lotus feet of the 6 Goswamis, the merciful Goswamis will certainly give the Lord's servitor all protection. It is not astonishing that impediments are placed before those who are spreading the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Nevertheless, if we adhere to the lotus feet of the 6 Goswamis and pray for their mercy, all impediments will be annihilated and the transcendental devotional desire to serve the Supreme Lord will be fulfilled. Jayatam Sudatopam Gormam Mandir Matergati Mat Sarvasya Padambo Jo Shi Radha Madana Mohana. Glory to all merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors, and their lotus feet are everything to me. Divyad Kalpa Drumada Shimad Nagara Singhasana Sto Shimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Prestali Visevyamano Smarami. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan underneath a desire tree, Shri Radha Govinda served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my humble obeisances to them. Shriman Rasadasaram Bivam Shivata Batastitaha Karshan Beno Sanar Gopi Gopinath Shiestunaha. Srila Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of the Rasa dance, stands on the shore of the Vamsivat and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Charya, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So, starting I have briefly described the pastimes of Caitanya Mahaprabhu known as the Madhya Lila. Now I shall attempt to describe something about his last pastimes, which are known as the Ancha Lila. I have briefly described the Ancha Lila within the description of the Madhya Lila. I am now almost an invalid because of old age, and I know that any moment I might die. Therefore, I have already described some portions of the Ancha Lila. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Excuse me. Following in the footsteps of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, I am trying to translate Srimad Bhagavatam as quickly as possible. However, knowing myself to be an old man and almost an invalid because of rheumatism, I have already translated the essence of all literatures, the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, as a summary study in English. I started the Krishna conscious movement at the age of 70. Now I am 78, and so my death is imminent. I am trying to finish the translation of Srimad Bhagavatam as soon as possible, but before finishing it, I have given my readers the book Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if I die before finishing the whole task, they may enjoy this book, which is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. So there's a very important instruction that Prabhupada is giving us. This Krishna book is something that, is just so spectacular that now, it's not easy for everybody to understand because we have so many books. But at least for me, that was the first. I read the Ishopanishad in the next book because we didn't have Bhagavad Gitas available. So I got the Krishna book, Volume 2, by Krishna's Mercy. And as I recall, I just read it day and night until I finished it. I read it out loud to anyone who came around. And it's such a wonderful book. It's for everybody. Sometimes people think, well, you know, we were hippies and crazies and all these stories and all that. But it's Krishna, and it's Prabhupada's super intense effort to give everything, the entire essence of the Bhagavatam all in one book, and he did it perfectly. So we request everyone to read that book, distribute that book, because this will save the world. And Prabhupada stopped translating Bhagavatam for some time to do the Caitanya Caritamrta, which is also very essential for giving us some insight into understanding the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we carry on. In accordance with the synopsis previously written, I shall describe in detail whatever I have not mentioned. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, Swarup Damodar Goswami immediately sent news of the Lord's arrival to the devotees in Bengal. Upon hearing this news, Mother Sachi and all the other devotees of Navadri were very joyful, and they all departed together for Nilachala, Jagannath Puri. Thus all the devotees of Kulinagram and Srikanda, as well as Advaita Acharya, came together to meet Shivananda Sain. Shivananda Sain arranged for the journey. He maintained everyone and provided residential quarters. While going to Jagannath Puri, Shivananda Sain allowed a dog to go with him. He supplied it food to eat, and he maintained it. One day, when they needed to cross a river, an Orisan boatman would not allow the dog to get in the boat. Shivananda Sain, unhappy that the dog had to stay behind, paid the boatman 10 pana of conch shells to take the dog across. Purport: 1 pana is 80 cutties, or small conch shells. Formerly, even 50 or 60 years ago, there was no paper currency in India. Coins were generally made not of base metal, but of gold, silver, and copper. In other words, a medium of exchange was really something valuable. 4 pieces of kadi made 1 ganda, and 20 such gandas equaled 1 pana. The pana was also used as a medium of exchange. Therefore, Shivananda Sain paid for the dog with das pana, or 80 times 10 pieces of kadi. In those days, 1 paisa was also subdivided into small conch shells, but at present moment, the prices for commodities have gone so high, there's nothing one can get in exchange for only 1 paisa. With 1 paisa in these days, however, those days one could get sufficient vegetables to provide for a whole family. Even 30 years ago, vegetables were occasionally so inexpensive that 1 paisa's worth would provide for a whole family for a day. One day, while Shivananda Sain was detained by a tollman, his servant forgot to give the dog its cooked rice. At night, when Shivananda Sain returned and was taking his meal, he inquired from the servant whether the dog had gotten its meals. When he learned that the dog had not been supplied food in his absence, he was very unhappy. He then immediately sent 10 men to find the dog. When the men returned without success, Shivananda Sain became very unhappy and fasted for the night. In the morning, they looked for the dog, but it could not be found anywhere. All the Vaishnavas were astonished. Purport: Shivananda Sain's attachment to the dog was a great boon for that animal. The dog appears to have been a street dog, since it was naturally had begun to follow Shivananda Sain while he was going to Jagannath Puri with his party, he accepted into the party and maintained it in the same way he was maintaining the other devotees. It appears that although on one occasion the dog was not allowed aboard a boat, Shivananda did not leave the dog behind, but paid more money just to induce the boatman to take the dog across the river. Then when the servant forgot to feed the dog and the dog disappeared, Shivananda, being very anxious, sent 10 men to find it. When they could not find it, Shivananda observed a fast. Thus, it appears that somehow or other Shivananda had become attached to the dog. A similar incident when the Pandavas left. One dog followed Yudhishthira, and when they came to take Yudhishthira to heaven, he said, the dog has to come with, and they said no, but he said, this dog has followed me all this way, I can't leave him behind. As will be evident from the following verses, the dog got the mercy of Caitanya Mahaprabhu and was immediately promoted to Vaikuntha to become an eternal devotee. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is therefore sung, Tumi te Thakur, Tomara Kukur, Boliya Janiha More. He thus offers to become the dog of a Vaishnava. There are many other instances in which the pet animal of a Vaishnava was delivered back home to Vaikuntha Loka, back to Godhead. Such is the true benefit of somehow or other becoming a favorite of a Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also sung, Kita Janma Hao Yata Tua Das. Sharangiti. There is no harm He thus offers to become a dog of a Vaishnava. There are many other instances in which the pet animal of Vaishnava is delivered back home, back to Godhead. Such is the benefit of somehow or other becoming a favorite of a Vaishnava. Srila Bhaktivinoda is also sung, Kita Janmahao Yata Tuadas. There is no harm in taking birth again and again. Our only desire should be to take birth under the care of a Vaishnava. Fortunately, we had the opportunity to be born of a Vaishnava father who took care of us very nicely. He prayed to Srimati Radharani that in the future we would become a servant of the eternal consort of Sri Krishna. Thus, somehow or other, we are now engaged in that service. We may conclude that even as dogs, we must take shelter of a Vaishnava. The benefit will be the same as that which accrues to an advanced devotee under a Vaishnava's care. Thus, in great anxiety, they all walked to Jagannath Puri, where Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu met them as usual. Caitanya Mahaprabhu went with them to see the Lord in the temple, and on that day also took lunch in the company of all those devotees. As previously, the Lord provided them all with residential quarters, and the next morning all the devotees came to see the Lord. When all the devotees came to the place of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, they saw the same dog sitting a little apart from the Lord. Furthermore, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was throwing remnants of green coconut pulp to the dog. Smiling in his own way, he was saying to the dog, chant the holy name, Ram, Krishna, and Hari. Seeing the dog eating the green pulp and chanting Krishna, Krishna, again and again, all the devotees present were very surprised. When he saw the dog sitting in that way and chanting the name of Krishna, Shivananda, because of his natural humility, immediately offered obeisance to the dog just to counteract his offenses to it. The next day, no one saw that dog, for it had obtained its spiritual body and departed for Vaikuntha, the spiritual kingdom. Purport. This is a result of sadhu sangha, consequent association with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and promotion back to home, back to Godhead. This result is possible even for a dog by the mercy of the Vaishnava. Therefore, everyone in the human form of life should be induced to associate with devotees. By rendering a little service, even by eating prasadam, what to speak of chanting and dancing, everyone can be promoted to the Vaikuntha Loka. It is therefore requested that all our devotees in the ISKCON community become pure Vaishnavas, so that by their mercy all the people of the world will be transferred to Vaikuntha Loka, even without their knowledge. Everyone should be given a chance to take prasadam and thus be induced to chant the holy names, Hare Krishna, and also dance in ecstasy. By these three processes, although performed without knowledge or education, even the animal went back to Godhead. Such are the transcendental pastimes of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi. He even delivered a dog simply by inducing it to chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna. That's the end of that little part. Meanwhile, following the order of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rupa Goswami returned to Vrindavan. I think I'll stop that one and start another one.